morning, Hamilton. Hi, welcome to this week's edition of the Devil's Advocate Live, your one-stop shop for news, stories, and everything happening here at HHS. I'm your host, Zane.
And I'm your host, Sam. We have a jam-packed show to help you get through these dark, cold days in January, filled with stories that highlight the voices and vibes of our Blue Devils community.
This past Monday, we observed Martin Luther King Jr. Day, honoring the life and legacy of a leader who changed the course of history. To explore how Dr. King's message was first received and how it still resonates today, reporters Mike Martucci spoke to some of our history teachers to get a better understanding of King then and now.
Martin Luther King was one of the most important figures in American civil rights history and one of the most valuable people to our progress as a nation. However, in his time period, he was very disdained and disliked by the American public as well as media. Why was this? Let's find out.
Obviously, Martin Luther King is viewed very much as a hero today, but he was a very controversial figure in his own time for various reasons.
As you go through the 1960s, what happens is as he gets more well-known, his approval actually declines.
Public persona and what he did were in lockstep. The one area where I don't think he's given enough credit was how much danger he put himself in. MLK and the civil rights participants went into a lot of these extremely hostile environments.
Fighting for civil rights issues in the South was controversial at the time. But even things like later in his life, he started focusing on issues of like economic inequality, supporting economic justice. He was being monitored by the FBI, for potentially having communist sympathies.
His vision expands much beyond just getting the Civil Rights Act passed, getting the Voting Rights Act passed. His vision expands to equality that's also focused later on economic equality, on challenging segregation that's not in law but is like in fact, which
just
is
like any moment in history, when you have people that are fighting against, I'll call it the social norm, you're going to have people that support them and you're going to have people that do not support them.
after Martin Luther King dies, he's no longer a threat, right? He's just a symbol.
Hindsight is always 20/20, I'll say. I think as people now are starting to realize the things that the civil rights protesters went through, I think people understand where he was coming from.
One thing that tends to happen is that history tends to prove some people and some groups correct. So I think we all should maybe take into perspective that there are certain groups today that are viewed as controversial and express views that are outside of the norm. But in the future, they might be perceived as being historical heroes.
His peaceful protesting and ability to make change without violent action was extremely vital to the civil rights movement and our progress into becoming a free and fair nation for everybody.
One way to honor King's life and memory is to always strive to do the right thing.
In national news, the digital world experienced quite the shakeup when TikTok shut down in response to government concerns over data security and company ownership. To the relief of many, it was restored a few hours later. With growing concerns over the app's future, we hit the hallways to find out how students feel about the potential looming TikTok ban.
With the Supreme Court deciding on the TikTok ban, let's ask students and see how it will affect their day-to-day lives.
Our country's acknowledging that there might be some software that's like on a lot of students' phones or like young adults' phones that might not be that healthy for their actual phones themselves.
Me a little bit. I used to always use TikTok, so I just have to grind Instagram Reels a little more.
It'll definitely affect it a lot because I am on TikTok a lot during the day, but it might be for the better because I'll be more productive.
TikTok is the reason why I live. It's the only thing I live for.
I don't have TikTok. It ain't gonna change me at all.
Not really. I mean, I go on TikTok, yeah, but actually I don't think it's gonna be banned.
I'm gonna have to find a new app to like occupy my time. I just think that like TikTok is the best social media app.
I think everybody should hop off their phones and stop caring as much as they do because it doesn't really matter that much.
I think it's wonderful because now maybe students here will focus on learning instead of being distracted by their phones nearly every moment of the day.
The students and staff of HHS really have some interesting opinions on the TikTok ban. I'm Vincent Tedesco with the Devil's Advocate, signing off.
Let's hope we don't have to say goodbye to our For You pages anytime soon.
One type of post currently trending on TikTok are the in and out lists. As they say, out with the old and in with the new. So what's in and out for HHS? For this story, let's go to Alyssa Capelli and Adriana Insua.
Sharing your ins and outs are a trend for the new year. Let's see what Hamilton High School's ins and outs are for 2025.
Al is Vexbolts and is doing your nails.
I've been out on Jennifer Coolidge for about 2 years now, but I feel like this year could be the year where we leave her in the past. We don't let her into the big 2025.
In is golf, and my out is Brawl Stars.
My in is velour tracksuits.
My out is overthinking everything.
She is just the definition of obnoxious. Looks awful, sounds the worst voice. Like, her voice is so annoying.
Something really classy, like white leather.
I think an in should be self-reflection. I think people should be better at reflecting on the mistakes that they make, reflecting on the good things that they do.
My in is OG Fortnite, and my out is FIFA.
An in is McDonald's coffee because it's only $1. And then an out, I would say probably people walking so slow in the hallways. That can go.
You can't escape her. She keeps getting roles. I watched the Golden Globes. Guess what? She's giving out awards.
What I want out for 2025 is the low taper fade.
But imagine if I got a low taper fade.
An out is clothes that are bedazzled, and my ins is self-care.
As far as an out, I think for 2025, the misuse of AI should be out. People got to realize it's a tool and it's not a crutch. So
Ins is jazz music and out is low taper fades.
And then in, Timothy Chalamet seems like a good guy.
Those are some great ins and outs, Hamilton High School. This is Alyssa Capelli for the Devil's Advocate, signing off.
Looks like a lot of changes are already happening. Goodbye, Jennifer Coolidge, I guess. Though it looks like she's here to stay.
January is full of new beginnings and new goals. Now that it's the midpoint of the school year, the senior class is facing a new challenge, senioritis. What does this dread condition look like? Our team has the full story.
A lot of illness has been going around Hamilton High School this year, and I asked students about the worst of the worst, senioritis. How has senioritis affected you?
Senioritis hasn't really affected me. I feel like I still do the same things every day at school. It doesn't really bother me.
It has affected me a lot. I really want to go home.
I want to get out of the school so bad. I mean, I've been getting up at 6:50 in the morning. I have no will to live.
I've had it since like 8th grade, and I come into school late and then leave early almost every single week.
I just think my willpower to do any assignment is much less than it was last year.
How have you seen senioritis affect your students this year?
I've seen it affect my students mostly, well, definitely my seniors, coming into class, putting their heads down, not really wanting to do a whole lot of work or talk whenever we talk in class.
So this year, I've probably missed first and second period for the past month and a half consecutively. And late assignments, but that's not awful. My teachers love me, but
It's not real. It is a fake disease made up by seniors that were lazy and didn't want to come to school.
It has definitely made me a lot less productive and a lot more lazier. It has been a mental challenge that is a struggle.
So I don't have senioritis, but I did get pneumonia, so.
So far this year, I haven't really seen it too bad, but I've always found after Christmas break and right after the end of second marking period, that's kind of where senioritis really kicks in.
So I haven't overcome it, but we still have half the year. And I think that's a lot of time for growth. Probably won't happen, but I feel like other people could probably overcome senioritis throughout the year, with the trips at the end of the year. Not me.
Senior privilege, I have 2 classes. I come in, I have 100 average, and I leave. Very simple.
Yeah, I do, and it just makes me less motivated to do my work and come to school.
Well, obviously I'm a junior, so I'm not a senior yet, but getting up in the morning is difficult. Coming to Mr. Siscone's class is sometimes a bit troubling, but we adapt and we overcome. We keep pushing.
I should not be driving because then I just leave.
For the Devil's Advocate, this is Gracie Kapoff.
Be well, seniors. Just tell yourself that graduation is right around the corner.
One thing that students and teachers can use to help stay motivated this time of year is a good jam. The right song can help you focus, get energized, or just tune the rest of the world out, whether it's hip hop, pop, or throwback hits. Music keeps HHS moving.
Music is a big part of culture here at HHS. We asked students what their favorite song or artist is at the moment. Here's what they said.
What's your favorite song at the moment?
Probably Tell Him by Lauryn Hill.
Supernatural by New Jeans.
5 More Hours by Chris Brown.
My favorite song right now is Northern Attitude by Noah Kahan. All of his music is great, and he's definitely my favorite artist. He's been my favorite artist for the past 4 years.
I do like a lot of Bruce Springsteen right now. My favorite Bruce Springsteen song at the moment is Thunder Road.
Not a favorite song, but I'm definitely in my Chappell Roan era.
My favorite artist right now is Chappell Roan.
Take Your Mask Off by Tyler, the Creator, featuring Daniel Caesar.
Probably all-time favorite, Leonard Skinner's Simple Man.
Lana Del Rey, because she's amazing.
Coconut Mall.
Sticky by Tyler, the Creator.
Tweaking by LiAngelo Ball.
I've been listening to a lot of Fleetwood Mac, and I really like Silver Springs and The Chain.
My favorite artist right now would be Gracie Abrams, and right now I think I like Risk by Gracie Abrams.
My favorite song is Two Birds, One Stone by Drake.
It definitely differs on the time of year, but right now my favorite artist is A$AP Rocky and song Smoked Away My Brain.
My favorite artist is Taylor Swift, and my favorite song is The Promise by When in Rome.
From Devil's Advocate, this is Mackenzie Julia signing off.
Some great picks and a few surprises. What's your favorite jam, Sam?
I'd have to say Disturbia by Rihanna. I'm not sure if any of those tracks are love songs, but love is in the air with Valentine's Day just a few weeks away. Reporter Samantha Grubb offers some new perspectives on a holiday that some people love and some people love to hate.
A lot of us look for a significant other to spend time with on Valentine's Day. The holiday originated as a Christian feast day to honor a martyr named Valentine. It has since evolved into a day to celebrate love and romance, but you don't need to spend Valentine's Day with a partner. However, people have different attitudes about it.
I think it's overrated. I think it's just a Hallmark holiday.
I think it depends on the person. So I think it's pretty 50-50 in this country. I think a lot of people like it, and I think there are a lot of people who don't like it.
I think Valentine's Day is kind of overly rated because not everyone has partners.
Valentine's Day is underrated. It's just like, I feel like love needs to be a better thing, like a more known thing, and not a lot of people like. It's because a lot of people don't have Valentines, and I don't have any plans for Valentine's.
Did you know people spend in total $25.9 billion on Valentine's Day gifts? Food app installs increased by 14% on February 11th, and on Valentine's Day increases by 9%, as well as dating app installs.
I'm going to spend my Valentine's Day probably surrounded by my friends. Although Valentine's Day might be seen as a day for lovers, but it can also be like friendships as well.
Single and alone and eating a lot of chocolate by myself.
I would say it's overrated to a degree. Depends on how much you go into it. I think if you're going out for dinner with your significant other and you're doing something nice with them to spend some time with them or make them a card or something, I think that's great. But I think when you go overkill with the stuff, with spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on one single day, that's not very significant for everybody. I think it's not very good.
Regardless how you're spending your Valentine's Day, you don't always need to have a partner. You can spend time with your family, friends, or do a Galentine's. But if you have a partner, you also don't have to spend too much money. It's the thought that counts, and happy Valentine's Day.
Whether you're celebrating with someone special or just your besties, make it a day to remember.
One way to spread the love around Hamilton High School is to show kindness to your fellow Blue Devils. To encourage this, Positive Behavior Supports in Schools, or PBSIS, is getting some exciting updates this semester. From new rewards to revamped activities, here's the scoop on how HHS is encouraging positivity. Tickets, prizes, and trips. Positive Behavior Supports in Schools celebrates the good at HHS. PBSIS strives to create a positive and inclusive school environment where respect, responsibility, and success are the foundation. Teachers give out tickets to recognize and reward students for showing good behavior. These tickets enter students into a monthly drawing where 5 to 6 winners will receive prizes like Hamilton gear, gift cards, tumblers, even Bluetooth speakers. But that's not all. This year, PBSIS is introducing new incentives to celebrate academic achievement. For the first and second marking period, students with all A's and B's will be entered into a random drawing. The lucky 75 winners will get to visit DiDonato's Bowling Alley for a fun outing, also with a friend. For the third marking period, the stakes get even higher. A random drawing will select 100 students for a special trip to Ocean City. To keep up the great work, aim for excellence, and be part of this exciting program. It's great to see HHS stepping up to reward kindness and positivity, spread the love, and get a chance to go on some fun trips.
Before we head into the weekend, let's talk football. Our sports team gathered the latest predictions from students and staff. Let's see who they're rooting for.
With the Super Bowl only a couple weeks away, we asked Hamilton students which teams they think will be playing in the big game.
I think it's going to be the Commanders and the Bills. I hate the Eagles.
Eagles and Bills. Go Birds.
Eagles and the Bills.
So I think it's going to be the Eagles and the Chiefs, but I would really like the Bills to beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Eagles and Bills.
Eagles.
Chiefs, Eagles.
I think the Eagles and the Bills.
Go Chiefs. Let's go.
I hate the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes, love you, baby. Let's go, man.
And I hate Pat Mahomes.
Let's go, Patty. Let's go.
The Eagles and the Chiefs. Go Birds.
This is Sophia Penza reporting for the Devil's Advocate. Go Birds.
You know what I'd love? To see the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 59. We'll see whose predictions hold up when we get back on Monday.
That's all we have for this week's edition of the Devil's Advocate Live. Thanks for tuning in.
You can find these stories and more on our website, hhsadvocate.com. Subscribe on our YouTube and find us on all socials. Have a great weekend, Blue Devils. We'll see you next time.